Did you see Elon Musk's bedside table picture that he put on Twitter? He had the Vajra in the lower left corner of the picture. There's all this speculation that there has been a limitless energy device that has come from the ancients that has been essentially redeveloped.
Whoa, what are these?
The Vajra. Or you might say an ancient Hindu thunderstorm generator.
Basically, it's a geometry to create a self-sustaining electromagnetic field.
Elon Musk posting this picture while he's also talking about that he believes that his life could be at jeopardy. He's taking security precautions. This is a staged photo. Is he essentially sending a shot off the bow to the people who he thinks are going after him, which is that I have knowledge of something?
Some of the oldest writings, 5,000 years old, probably.
5,000 years old.
Yeah.
Here you have in the hand the normal symbolism, because actually the Vajra is a device for generating plasmoids.
I'm convinced that Elon Musk knows some hidden secrets about energy and vibration. The fact that he's pictured the Vajra is no coincidence. The Vajra is an ancient symbolic object used in Hinduism and Buddhism, known as a powerful tool or weapon. In Sanskrit, the word Vajra means both thunderbolt and diamond, symbolizing its indestructible nature and powerful force. It's fascinating because Malcolm Bendel's technology is also rooted in ancient wisdom, incorporating the principles of the Vajra, sacred numbers, and more.
Malcolm Bendel possesses knowledge that may be very important to us all with regard to plasma technology.
When he first called me, he told me this: I've been working on this plasma energy and it's based on frequencies, and these frequencies are connected to these ancient sacred numbers. And he said, I watched a podcast and it was you giving a lecture, and you were talking about ancient numbers, and the numbers you were mentioning were exactly the numbers that I found made this technology work.
Maybe that's the message Musk was subtly hinting at in that photo. Bendel's technology could help eliminate pollution and create self-sustaining energy, reducing the need for fossil fuels, and that's a dangerous path to take.
These technologies have been suppressed actively. I'm being actively suppressed and threatened.
He was on an island where he'd gone because there had actually been a couple of attempts on his life.
Remember, when such technologies appear, the inventors are often threatened or pressured to sell their company only for the buyer to bury it. The technology is discredited in many ways because it's seen as something that shouldn't exist. Malcolm Bendel developed the Thunderstorm generator, a device designed to enhance the efficiency of internal combustion engines while significantly reducing or even eliminating their emissions. This technology utilizes principles from his Plasmoid unification model, which connects energy, matter, and time with ideas from ancient knowledge and sacred numbers. This works like a map, showing how everything in the universe is linked through patterns and harmony. By following this map, Bendel's device aims to use energy in a cleaner way that could help solve pollution, and this technology works.
I'm as skeptical as it gets. If you don't show me evidence, I don't believe you. And seeing these results, and just sort of not believing them, and I was looking at them when I was seeing them, I was just, no, I must be being stupid, I must be misreading this. This thing's putting out 20% oxygen. It's, nicely running engine, it's sort of 11-12% carbon dioxide, an engine running quite well, but it's pumping out pollution. Well, that's what you're going to get. Yeah. Then you switch this thing in, 20% oxygen, negligible carbon dioxide and monoxide, and it's astonishing, but it's working. The evidence is there.
Where did the carbon dioxide go? Where did the carbon monoxide go? Well, it looks like it somehow got transmuted on the atomic level into oxygen.
Let's dive deeper into the Plasmoid unification model. Pay attention because it gets interesting.
This is the Plasmoid unification model.
Okay.
And again, this integrates all sounds, all colors, all elements. All of the sacred numbers are in this.
Right.
Astronomical numbers. And he's showing how those numbers that measure the sun, the earth, and the moon correlate to these various frequencies.
Oh, wow.
The Plasmoid unification model, PUM, is Malcolm Bendel's theory that tries to show how everything in the universe is connected through an invisible energy field called the ether. The PUM brings back the ether as the key to understanding the universe. It connects plasmoids, magnetic plasma structures, to everything, sound, elements, planets, and time, showing how they relate through this energy field. It suggests that energy in the ether can turn into matter and carry specific frequencies, helping explain how the universe works. Bendel's model uses new math and ancient ideas to build a unified picture of the cosmos. It also guides new inventions that could harness this hidden energy, offering a fresh perspective on science and technology by revisiting older, forgotten concepts. Nikola Tesla believed that this ether was the source of all matter and energy, but modern science stopped using the concept. According to the PUM, the ether is pure energy at rest, like unlimited potential that hasn't yet formed into anything. It contains all possible frequencies, but they're mixed together in a state of balance, like spinning a colorful disc so fast that it looks grey. Bendel believes that everything we see, solid, liquid, gas, and plasma, comes from this ether.
Defining what the relationship between ether and matter is, and that the sun is, in my opinion, a frequency imprinting device, as this is the same in that the radius of the sun is 432. There's a 4-inch sphere, a 3-inch sphere, and a 2-inch sphere. So basically, that's the North Pole, and that's the South Pole.
The sun, in this model, acts like a converter. It takes this ether energy and turns it into matter by giving it shape and frequency, kind of like adding a vibration or rhythm. This happens through the sun's toroidal magnetic field, a donut-shaped magnetic force that holds and shapes the energy. Inside this magnetic field is a special point called the 0 point, which is a spot of pure potential energy. Bendel compares this 0 point to a black hole where matter can be broken down and returned to its original ether form. The sun transforms the ether, invisible energy, into matter, specifically protium, the most basic form of hydrogen. Protium, the most common element in the universe, has a special melting point, -259.2 degrees Celsius, and a frequency of 25,920 cycles per second. This frequency matches the Great Year Cycle, a cosmic rhythm where the sun, moon, and planets return to the same positions every 25,920 years. Bendel believes this cycle sets the base frequency of the universe, influencing the properties of protium.
What this model does is unify not only frequencies, which you're able to then visualize, but also it unifies all things. So in here you've got crystal form, color, sound, you've got the Great Year, which is 25920, 25,920 years. That's the moon's traveling distance in 12 hours. And you've got down here hydrogen, which is more correctly known as, should be protium, but it's 2592. So what you're saying is distance and time, you can see that they're the same metric and they swap over.
The sun's toroidal magnetic field, a donut-shaped structure, ejects this matter, and Bendel connects this process to specific numerical patterns. For instance, the sun's diameter is 864,000 miles, and when you divide protium's melting point by 3, you get -86.4. In his alternative math system, these numbers have deeper meanings, revealing consistent patterns like adding up to 18 or multiplying to 192 that suggest a hidden order in the universe.
These two spheres here represent time, because the 432 spheres, basically the area of those spheres added together is 51.84. The angle of the Cheops pyramid is 51.84, 518,400 seconds in the 6 days of creation. Times 60, you get arc seconds, which is Brahma all time, which is your 311 trillion and 40 billion years for one rotation of our galaxy. Our society has gone backwards, not forwards. We've lost 80% of our language, we've lost 80% of our maths. What I'm trying to do in my notes is bring back that lost knowledge.
This unique approach challenges traditional math and ties back to the cosmic principles of the PUM. Sanskrit mathematics, an ancient math system, connects different number patterns and sequences, which we can see in old structures like the pyramids.
Experimentation has shown that one angle seems to be optimum for minimizing the introduction of the turbulence. What do you think that angle is?
I don't know.
51.84 degrees. Slope to base of Khufu's pyramid. Another coincidence?
The Great Pyramid's slope angle, 51.84 degrees, aligns with important cosmic numbers like the Great Year Frequency, 25,920 years, which ties back to the properties of protium, the simplest form of hydrogen. Bendel uses the term Sanskrit mathematics to give credit to ancient Indian knowledge, which included advanced concepts like the Fibonacci sequence and Pythagoras' theorem long before the Greeks. This system looks at numbers differently. Even if sequences seem different, they can be considered fundamentally the same. For instance, negative 86.4 from the melting point of protium divided by 3 and the Sun's diameter of 864,000 miles are seen as the same frequency at different scales. Malcolm suggests that everything in the universe, from the Sun to the Moon to hydrogen's properties, is in perfect harmony, like a musical octave. He shows this by looking at the distances and sizes of the Sun, Moon, and Earth. The Sun's diameter, 864,000 miles, fits into the average Earth-Sun distance, 93,312,000 miles, which is exactly 108 times the Sun's diameter. Similarly, the Moon's diameter, 2,160 miles, and its distance from Earth, 233,280 miles, also align with the same ratio of 108. If we reduce the size of the Sun's diameter, 864,000 miles, by a factor of 10, we get 8,640, showing a pattern that repeats at different scales. This is seen as evidence of harmony in the universe, not just random numbers. Randall Carlson adds another example. If we place Earth and the Moon together vertically and draw a circle around them, then draw a square around the Earth's circle, the area of the square and the outer circle is exactly the same. This precise alignment suggests to some that it's not just coincidence but a sign of a connected harmonic design in the universe. These patterns point to an intelligent design, where everything is in perfect harmonic resonance. It also claims that we should reconsider using the imperial measurement system, which is seen as more naturally aligned with these cosmic patterns, unlike the metric system, which focuses on arbitrary numbers. The Plasmoid unification model is quite complex and needs time to explain properly. We might dive deeper into it in another video.
So here's your basic diagram.
Okay.
Air inlet, your pre-ionization chamber, which is fed now into the plasmoid generator. Then that's fed into the Thunderstorm generator, which then is fed through the carburetor into the generator. It captures the exhaust output from the manifold and feeds it right back into the Thunderstorm generator.
So does this replace the need for fossil fuels?
You use fossil fuels only to get the initial temperatures to create the plasmas, and then once you've done that, it's self-perpetuating.
The process begins when air enters through an inlet and passes into a pre-ionization chamber. Here, the air is exposed to ultraviolet light, which gives a small electric charge to the gases in the air, making them more reactive. This step is crucial because it helps prepare the air for what comes next. The charged air then moves into the plasmoid generator. In this part of the system, high-energy plasma bubbles known as plasmoids are created. These plasmoids are formed by exposing the air to rapid changes in pressure caused by the movement of pistons in the engine. When the plasmoids collapse, they release bursts of energy similar to tiny lightning strikes. This released energy is then funneled into the Thunderstorm generator. The Thunderstorm generator acts as the main energy converter. It takes the energy from the collapsing plasmoids and amplifies it, generating a powerful force that can be used to drive the engine or produce electricity. The system even captures the exhaust gases from the engine and recycles them back into the Thunderstorm generator, creating a feedback loop that helps sustain the process. At the start, the system does need a small amount of fossil fuel to reach the high temperatures required to create the initial plasma. However, once the plasmoids are generated and the process is running, it can continue on its own, using the energy it produces to keep going. The plasmoid generator system continues by feeding the air and energy back into the carburetor of the engine. This creates a cycle where the air and gases keep flowing through the engine, being used and reused. What's interesting here is that the exhaust gases coming out of the engine aren't wasted. Instead, all harmful emissions like carbon monoxide, carbon dioxide, and nitrous oxide are recaptured and broken down into a process called a low-energy atomic reaction. This reaction helps clean the exhaust, leaving behind mostly pure air, oxygen, while breaking down the pollutants. Essentially, the system cleans its own emissions, making it much more efficient and environmentally friendly. The Plasmoid generator dramatically increases the efficiency of any engine or generator, especially those using fossil fuels. This has already been shown in multiple tests. The improvement is so significant that it could transform how vehicles operate. Instead of cars releasing pollution into the air, vehicles retrofitted with this technology could behave more like mobile trees. Just as trees absorb carbon dioxide and release oxygen, these upgraded engines would clean the air as they run, making the environment healthier. Currently, regular combustion engines are only about 33% efficient, meaning most of the energy from fuel is wasted as heat. With the Plasmoid generator, this efficiency is much higher, using energy more effectively and reducing waste. The design uses a vortex system where air is spun into a spiral, like a mini tornado. In typical vortex tubes, cold air moves in a narrow stream inside the hot air. The Thunderstorm generator in this system works similarly, using a tube within another tube to create the vortex effect. This setup helps to further increase efficiency by managing the temperature and flow of air inside the device.
What are the ultimate implications of this technology?
It will massively increase the efficiency of any engine or generator.
And current
anything
combustion.
that runs on fossil fuels, the efficiency will be massively, and this is one of the things that's now been demonstrated repeatedly, it massively increases the efficiency. Like George Lush says, once we have cars that are retrofitted with this, the way he put it, he said, like, instead of cars, driving down the city streets, exhausting pollution, they'll be like mobile trees, because that's what trees do. They take in the carbon dioxide and they put out oxygen. So yeah, all of this is available for people to study. I would say be skeptical, but be open-minded and do your homework and decide for yourself.